Hi folks, right, today I thought I'd do a review on the Chinese diesel heater that I bought to keep my workshop a little bit warm. This is the unit. It came off Amazon. I can't remember how much it cost, but I'll try and look up the original link from where I bought it. Because it's meant to be for a van or a motorhome, it's a 12 volt supply, so with it I bought a 12 volt supply unit that cuts the voltage from 240 down to 12. I also bought an extension kit for the exhaust, and I fitted it out with a pump, a water system and a small radiator in the main workshop. As you can see, there's also two vents, one either side of the radiator, which allow the air to come through from the heater depending which room I'm using it in. Now, this main workshop is about 400 square feet, and the heater will not warm this workshop. It will help maintain the temperature. So if I use my big gas blower first of all to get the temp up, and then run the diesel heater on its own, it will maintain the temperature in here. In the tool room side of the workshop, which is just under 200 square feet, it will actually warm it up in here. It will raise the temperature quite substantially. I've got the outlet pipe here. This at the moment is feeding this room. If I want to feed the other room, I just plug it onto that one down there, and then it feeds the main workshop. To get it to work, just switch the power on. That fires up the power supply. Give it a second or two. It will come on at the front, and you just hold the on button for about 3 seconds. And as you can see, it's gone to heat 3, which is its average setting. You can turn it up by pressing the top button. That's on to 5, which is its highest setting, and then press the bottom one to take it back down again. Now, it takes a few minutes to get to working mode, so we'll leave it for a second. It also comes with a remote, which is, to be quite honest, not really useful. Might be useful if you had it in a camper van or whatever, but the same thing, you can switch it on and off with the remote, and you can turn the heat settings up and down. Now, the one thing I've found is I don't think the change in settings does anything other than increase the fan speed. It doesn't get any hotter. In actual fact, if you turn it up to 4 or 5, you will find it actually seems to put out less warm air. There's more air volume, but it's not quite so hot. So I find level 3 is the perfect one to use it on. Now, at the moment, it's a cold day, and it's 2.1 degrees centigrade in here, so it's pretty cold. What I'm going to do is let it run up for a minute, get a bit of warmth coming out the tube, and then we'll see what it's putting out. Now, it's been running for a few minutes. I had to put some diesel in it because it was a bit low and the pump was running like mad. So now I've put some diesel in it. I don't know if you can hear the pump just clicking over gently, and I'm standing now about 6 foot back from the end of the pipe. I can feel the warmth on me. If I put the heat gun in there, as you can see, it's kicking out 51.4 degrees, which is pretty good. Just check it again. Hang on, pointed it to the wrong place. Yeah, 50.6. So it's pumping out about 50 degrees centigrade of heat, and I can feel the warmth of it standing back here. In this small space, as I say, a couple of 100 square feet, it does warm it up quite considerably. I've got a fully, though it's a workshop, I've got a fully insulated ceiling. I have only got single skin brickwork, so there's no insulation on the walls, but the ceiling's fully insulated and it does build up the warmth quite quickly in here. Now what I've done is I've added that radiator I showed you earlier, and I'll show you how I've done it. Basically, on the exhaust pipe, I've made a heat exchanger, which unfortunately has just started leaking, so I can't really demonstrate it. But I've got a heat exchanger with two pipes in and out, an old household central heating pump that I had lying about, and that just pumps the water round through the wall, through the radiator, back and back round. Now because it's an open system, it's not a pressurized system, I have a header tank, which is this pipe going up here, goes all the way up through the ceiling, and basically in the loft it's just a bucket with the pipe attached to the bottom of it, and that serves as a header tank, so it keeps the system full of water without it being pressurized. And apart from the slight leak that I've got on the end of the heat exchanger, it works really well. So sometime I'm going to make myself a new heat exchanger, and I'm going to make a bigger one because it does work, and I think a bigger one might be more efficient. This just takes the heat from the exhaust pipe, so it's wasted heat. That pipe goes out through the back of the bench and out through the wall, so it vents the exhaust outside the building. I put a sleeve through the leg of the bench so that it's not getting too hot on the wood. It's been like that for about 2 years now, and it's absolutely fine. So that's the system. It was quite easy to build. It works quite well. It could do with some insulation on the pipes, and it could do with a slightly bigger, better heat exchanger, but it does work. So now we'll do a room temp. And we're up to 5.9 degrees in here already. So it's raised the room temp from 2.1 to 5.9 in a couple of minutes. After about half an hour, it will be really cozy warm in here. Then if I want to use it in the workshop, I just plug the outlet onto the pipe at the bottom, and that will heat the workshop. It won't do both at once. It doesn't have enough heat. I think if I had 2 more of these in the main workshop, so that would then cost me, what, £4.50, £5 a day, it would actually heat the main workshop up quite well. And the cost of the gas bottles for the gas blower, I'm actually thinking about getting a couple more of these, because in the long run they work out a lot cheaper than using the gas blower. Now the one important thing, when you switch this off, don't just switch it off at the plug. Turn it off either with the remote or with the control panel. Just hold the button until it says off, and then leave it. It does a shutdown cycle. Don't know if you can hear it, but it goes into a shutdown cycle, cools itself down, cleans itself out, and it keeps running for about 3 or 4 minutes. Let it do that. Don't just switch it off. Obviously, this isn't the cleanest environment to work in. Every so often, just get an air line, blow off the unit, blow off the fan inlet at the back, and just make sure I keep it clean so that it will keep running. After nearly 2 years, I think it is, it's still running absolutely perfectly. I've never had to touch it other than just blow a bit of dust off it, and it keeps my workshop nice and warm. So if you're thinking of getting one, yes, I think they are worth the money. They chuck out a lot of heat, and this one has been really reliable. Right, that's it now. It's turned itself off, so the front's still lit up, but it's silent now. So now I can switch the power unit off. I've put my movable workbench back in front of it, so I don't generally see it's behind the behind the press. It doesn't take up much room. It chucks out loads of heat, and personally I think it's really worthwhile. I'd definitely buy another one, and I might buy a couple more to go in the workshop. Thanks for watching. if you could give me a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, that would be wonderful. Cheers, bye.